Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into something vital for anyone running an online store specifically, how to craft a truly effective content strategy for Shopify.
Yeah, and our guide for this is a really solid piece from the Shop Strategy website written by Mohammed Tufekcipan. It's quite comprehensive.
Right, so our mission today is to pull out the essential insights from that guide. We want to look past just, writing basic descriptions and see how content becomes this core engine for your Shopify store's success. This is your deep dive into shop strategy.
And just before we dive in, a quick note, this deep dive is powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you run smart discount campaigns on your store. You can test it out for free on Shopify.
Okay, so let's unpack this. If you're on Shopify, you know the e-commerce world is, well, it's crowded. Just having a good product, it's often not enough anymore. You see some stores just taking off, getting traffic, making sales, while others, maybe with equally good stuff, just seem to stall. What's the key difference there? The source really pins it on having a strategic approach to content.
That's exactly the problem it tackles. A lot of store owners think content is just like an extra. A blog post here and there, maybe some quick product details. But a real e-commerce content strategy, that's a full plan.
Not just random acts of content creation.
No, not at all. It starts by linking content directly to what you want to achieve. Is it brand awareness, more traffic, better conversion rates, keeping customers coming back?
So every piece has a job to do.
Precisely. And that plan needs to be built on knowing your customer inside out. Who are they? What problems are they trying to solve? What questions do they have? How do they like to get information?
Because creating content without that strategy,
Yeah.
it's just busy work, right? Working harder, not smarter.
You got it. The guide makes that point very clearly. A tailored strategy is what turns content from just stuff you do into something that actually drives sales. And it specifically talks about aligning this with Shopify itself.
Yeah, that's a big mistake. The source highlights treating content like it's separate from your products or your store platform. They need to work together seamlessly.
And Shopify gives you the building blocks, right? You've got the built-in blog, great for articles, guides, updates.
Super handy that it's right there.
Definitely. Then your product descriptions and collection pages, these aren't just lists, they're sales tools. They persuade. And the page builder lets you create those bigger cornerstone pieces. Things like detailed buying guides or a really compelling About Us page.
That integration point is huge. The source quotes Mark Richardson, an e-commerce consultant, who basically says Shopify's power is that integration. Blog posts, product info, custom pages all in one place. It creates a smooth path for the customer.
Right, a natural journey towards making a purchase. And think about how you use that integrated system for different goals. Need more organic traffic.
Then you focus on SEO in your blogs and product pages, targeting the right keywords.
Exactly, trying to bump up conversion rates. Then you're looking at things like detailed FAQs, maybe comparison guides, putting customer reviews or photos right on the product page.
And for loyalty, for keeping people engaged.
That's where email newsletters come in strong, maybe personalized suggestions based on what they bought before, or even exclusive content for your best customers. The core message here is simple. Every bit of content needs a purpose. If you don't know why you're creating it, maybe don't.
Okay, that makes sense, the why and the what within Shopify. But how do you actually develop a strategy like this? It sounds like a lot to sort through, especially if you already have some content out there. Where do you begin?
You start with what you've got. The guide's first practical step is a content audit. You need to catalog everything, blog posts, sure, but also product descriptions, any custom pages, email templates you use, even your social profiles.
Wow, okay. That sounds like a bit of a task.
It can be, but it's so important for getting a baseline. Then you look at the metrics for each piece of traffic, time on page, bounce rate, the usual suspects. But for e-commerce, the key metric is conversion impact.
Right, not just who's looking, but what content is actually contributing to sales.
Precisely. Which blog posts are people reading before they buy? Which product pages get viewed right before someone clicks Add to Cart? Shopify Analytics, especially combined with Google Analytics, can give you glimpses into this.
So you see what's working, and that helps you spot the gaps.
Exactly. What questions keep coming up in customer support? That's content you need. What keywords are your competitors ranking for that you aren't? Where in the buying process do people seem to drop off? Maybe they need more information at that point. Analyzing competitors isn't about copying them. It's about understanding the playing field and finding where you can stand out.
Okay, audit done, gaps identified. Then you need to really nail down who you're talking to. Generic content just doesn't cut it.
Absolutely not. Defining your target audience and creating detailed buyer personas is non-negotiable. Shopify data gives you demographics, maybe purchase history, but personas dig deeper. Why do they need your kind of product? What stops them from buying? What questions pop into their heads? And critically, where do they hang out online? How do they prefer to consume content?
Are they reading blogs, watching quick videos, listening to podcasts?
Right. The guide quotes Sarah Chen, who points out that most stores create one-size-fits-all content. But a first-time visitor needs different info than a loyal customer. Your strategy needs to account for that. Personas help you tailor both the message and the delivery. And remember, they aren't static. Revisit them as you learn more.
So we've audited, found opportunities, defined the audience. How do we organize all this into a coherent plan? Feels like it could get messy.
That's where content pillars and themes come in. Think of these as the big foundational topics your content will revolve around. Often they align with your product categories, or maybe the lifestyle or values of your ideal customer.
Like if you sell outdoor gear, pillars might be hiking, camping, climbing.
Exactly. And under each pillar, you brainstorm specific subtopics and actual content ideas. This creates structure and helps you build authority. You also need to mix educational stuff to attract people, promotional content to drive sales, maybe inspirational content to build community. Most stores need all three. And think how these pillars show up everywhere. Collection pages, product descriptions, emails, not just the blog.
And keeping it all going requires a calendar.
A content calendar is crucial. Consistency builds your audience and helps with SEO. You map out what gets published when, align it with sales events, seasons, new product launches, plan those big tentpole content pieces ahead of time.
And fill the gaps with evergreen content that stays relevant.
Yep. Also, think about how pieces connect. A product launch isn't just one page, it's teaser emails, the product page itself, maybe a blog post about benefits, social media assets. Plan that sequence. Tools like Trello, Asana, even a simple spreadsheet can work. Just make sure everyone involved can see the plan across all channels, blog, email, social, the works.
All right, strategy mapped out. Now for the really critical part, actually creating content that works hard for you within Shopify. Where's the best place to focus first for driving conversions?
Start with your product descriptions. The guide really hammers this home. They aren't just spec lists, they are sales tools. So many stores underutilize them.
So less 100% merino wool and more. Stay warm without overheating thanks to breathable merino wool. Focusing on the benefit.
Exactly that. Connect the feature to what the customer actually gains. You still need your keywords for SEO and titles and descriptions, absolutely, but write for the human first. Make it easy to read short paragraphs, bullet points, clear headings. Keep the format consistent for similar products so people can compare easily. And visuals, non-negotiable. Great photos, lifestyle shots, videos showing the product in action. Shopify makes embedding videos pretty straightforward.
Okay, product pages nailed. What about the blog? How do you make that really impactful on Shopify?
The blog is your engine for traffic, authority, and nurturing leads. The guide says focus on topics that have commercial intent, answering questions people have when they're thinking about buying or provide real educational value related to your niche. Keyword tools help find opportunities, but relevance to your audience and products is paramount.
And structure matters there too, for readers and for Google.
Absolutely. Use clear H2 and H3 subheadings. Break up text with images or graphics, and critically, link internally. Link from your blog post to relevant product pages, collection pages, other related articles. Jordan Michaels is quoted saying, "The best Shopify blogs answer real customer questions during the buying journey. They're resources, not just random articles." Don't shy away from using rich media, either infographics, embedded videos, maybe even a quiz.
You mentioned cornerstone content earlier, those big in-depth pieces. Where do they fit?
That's where Shopify's custom pages really come into their own. They're perfect for stuff that's too big for a blog post, but essential. Think ultimate buying guides. The complete guide to choosing kitchen knives, for instance, linking out to your knife collections.
Or a dedicated page for your brand story.
Yes. Use the page builder to share your founding story, your values, use visuals to connect emotionally. And campaign landing pages are vital too. For a specific sale or launch, you need a focused page. Clear message, strong visuals, maybe simplified navigation to keep people focused on the offer, and definitely tracking setup. Keep the look and feel consistent with your main store using Shopify's sections.
Okay, and here's something easily missed. The guide mentions optimizing for Shopify's own internal search bar.
So important. If someone searches on your site, they often know what they want. Shopify's search tends to heavily weigh product titles and tags. Titles need keywords but should sound natural. Tags are super powerful. Use them consistently for type, material, color, use case. They drive search, collections, filtering.
And for bigger stores, maybe look at search apps.
Yeah, apps like Algolia or Search and Eyes can offer a much better experience. But even without apps, look at what people are searching for on your site. Especially look at searches that return no results. That tells you exactly what content or products people are looking for but can't find. Huge opportunity there.
Okay, fantastic content, created and optimized. But it won't do much just sitting there. We need to talk distribution. How do we get eyeballs on it?
Right. Content needs legs. And Shopify actually gives you lots of ways to distribute content right within the store experience itself. Think of your store as the hub.
Look, featuring recent blog posts on the homepage.
Exactly. Or using sections on your product pages to pull in related guides, customer testimonials, maybe a bit about the product story. Even your transactional emails are touch points. Put a link to a care guide in the order confirmation. And Shopify email is great for turning blog posts into newsletters, maybe segmenting who gets what based on past purchases.
So it's about weaving content into the whole journey.
Precisely. It's creating this connected ecosystem. The guide quotes Alex Turnbull saying, "Successful stores think this way, not isolated channels, but an interconnected experience guiding customers along."
And obviously, social media is a huge distribution channel. Shopify integrates there too.
It does, through the Sales Channels feature. The trick is adapting your content. A long blog post might become an Instagram carousel with key tips, or a Twitter thread, or a short video for TikTok or YouTube. Use the shoppable features to tag products right in your social content. Maybe create platform-specific series that tie back to your main content pillars.
And the Shopify App Store can help amplify content too.
For sure. There are apps focused on enhancing your blog's SEO or layout like Blog Studio. Then there are the UGC apps, user-generated content like Stamp.io, Yopo, Okendo. These are vital for collecting and showcasing reviews, customer photos, videos. That's powerful social proof, and it is content.
And what about email? Apps like Klaviyo or Omnisend.
Oh yeah, they're key for more advanced distribution. They let you segment your audience deeply and send automated, triggered content. Someone views products in a category multiple times. Send them a relevant buying guide. Someone abandons a cart. Maybe follow up with content addressing common concerns. Just be mindful of app choices, check integrations, and impact on site speed.
So we've created it, we've distributed it. How do we actually know if it's working? Measurement seems critical.
It's absolutely critical, and it's not a one-off thing. It has to be ongoing. Your starting point is Shopify's own analytics dashboard. Look at your traffic sources. Is organic search growing? Check behavior reports, page views, time on page. But for e-commerce content, the real gold is conversion tracking.
Right, connecting the dots between someone reading a blog post and actually buying something. That feels like the goal.
It is the goal. Shopify's attribution models can help give you a sense of which touch points played a role. You can look at conversion rates by landing page, which specific guides or posts are people seeing before they convert.
And for even deeper insights, Google Analytics, especially with enhanced e-commerce tracking enabled.
That's where you get really granular. You can set up specific goals tied to content. Did someone sign up for the newsletter from this blog post? Did they click through from that guide to a product page? Enhanced e-commerce tracking lets you see the whole journey, which products were viewed, added to cart, and purchased after someone interacted with a specific piece of content.
Wow, okay. That level of detail really shows you the true impact.
It really does. There's a quote from Dana Wilson in the source that nails it. The most valuable metric for content isn't page views or even time on page. It's influence on purchase behavior. When you can trace a sale back to a specific piece of content, you can calculate true ROI. Makes total sense.
So measurement gives you the what, and then A/B testing helps you improve it.
Exactly. Testing is how you optimize based on that data. Test variations of your product descriptions. Does benefit-driven copy outperform feature-driven copy? Test different headlines for blog posts. Test where you place calls to action. Maybe test adding a video versus just images on key pages.
Just test one element at a time, make sure you have enough traffic to get meaningful results, and focus on tests that impact your main goals.
You got it. And the guide really stresses that this whole strategy needs to be dynamic. It changes based on data, but also based on market trends and what your customers are telling you.
So it's not just about constantly creating new stuff, but also going back and refreshing existing content.
Often that's a better investment. Updating a high-performing blog post with new stats, better visuals, or answers to new questions can give you great returns. Shopify makes it easy to update content while keeping the same URL, which is good for SEO. And always listen to your customers' comments, support questions, social media chatter. It's all feedback for your content plan.
Okay, let's say a store has these fundamentals pretty well handled. What are some of the more advanced strategies the guide talks about?
Well, one big area is developing a truly multi-channel approach. Your Shopify store is the center, yes, but you strategically repurpose and adapt content for other platforms. That detailed buying guide. It becomes an Instagram carousel, a quick Twitter thread summary, maybe a YouTube video walkthrough.
And maybe even extending to own channels beyond the store itself, like a dedicated app, or maybe even a podcast like this one, or a more sophisticated email newsletter.
Right. And think about strategic partnerships. Doing collaborative content like a joint webinar, a co-written guide, or guest blogging on relevant sites can expose your brand and your expertise to whole new audiences.
Personalization feels like a huge one, too. Delivering the same message to everyone feels less effective now.
Definitely. The guide frames personalization as a key advanced tactic. You start with Shopify's customer segments. Then you use more advanced tools, often email marketing platforms, to trigger specific content based on behavior. Someone looked at 2 specific products multiple times, send them a comparison guide, they abandon a cart with a high-value item, maybe send content addressing potential price objections or highlighting long-term value. You can also do on-site personalization with recommendation engines or dynamic content blocks.
So it's about getting the right information, the right message to the right person just when they need it.
Exactly. Eliza Montgomery is quoted saying personalization isn't just about different products, it's about different information based on where they are in their journey. That right content, right moment can make all the difference. And, this deep understanding of customer behavior, knowing what they need and when.
It sounds like that perfectly aligns with knowing when to present the right kind of offer to, maybe a personalized discount. That connects directly to what our sponsor, Growth Suite, does, right?
It absolutely does. The underlying principle is the same. Using insights into customer behavior and their journey stage to deliver something highly relevant and effective at just the right moment. Whether that's a piece of content that answers a critical question or a smart, personalized offer from Growth Suite that encourages them to complete the purchase, it all stems from understanding that customer journey.
Interesting connection. What about exploring newer content formats beyond text and images?
Yeah, the guide encourages looking ahead. Video is basically table stakes now, demos, testimonials, tutorials. Shopify makes embedding easy. Augmented reality, AR, is interesting, especially for things like furniture or decor where people want to visualize items in their space. But you need content to explain how to use the AR feature too. Interactive content like quizzes, product selectors, calculators great for engagement and gathering data, and voice search optimization structuring things like FAQs to answer spoken questions naturally.
And the final advanced area mentioned is building a community.
Yes, moving beyond just transactions to build real loyalty. Turning buyers into community members drastically increases lifetime value. User-generated content is key here, actively encouraging and showcasing customer photos, videos, reviews using apps like 460 or Pixly. Maybe offering exclusive content or early access to products for members. Facilitating discussion in forums or groups, making people feel seen and valued.
Wow. Okay, this deep dive really makes it clear. Content strategy isn't just a nice to have for Shopify stores. It's basically your secret weapon. It's how you stand out, attract the right people, and turn them into loyal customers.
Absolutely. If you take the time to really understand your audience and you strategically use the tools Shopify provides, plus the wider ecosystem, content becomes this incredibly powerful competitive edge.
So as you're listening to this, think about your own store. Where's the single biggest gap in your current content efforts? What's the one thing, if you addressed it, that could really unlock that next level of growth? And maybe even what's one specific piece of content you could create this week? Could be improving a product description, writing an FAQ, a short blog post that directly tackles a key customer question you get.
And remember, this deep dive was powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you understand that customer behavior and run really effective discount campaigns designed to boost your conversion rates. It uses a unique AI engine to create personalized offers for each visitor right when it matters most. You can install it with just a click on your Shopify store and start turning more of those browsers into actual buyers. Check it out.